expecting the worst of another thunderstorm, but there's quite a bit of lightning on all sides. This time, I think we're gonna get hit by a big thunderstorm. I mean, look at that. But the core of the storm is just to my west. Most of the lightning is ahead of us, but slightly to my left, because that's where the core is. I mean, it's gonna start pouring right now. I think the worst will be in about a minute or two. Probably in about 2 minutes. Yeah, you can tell where the traffic is. Zoom in a little bit there. That's where it's pouring. Where the traffic is, that's where the rain is going to really start coming down. Because that's weather-induced rain, the traffic. I mean, we're not even in the core of the storm. The core is about a couple miles to my west. That's where the worst of the storm is. We're basically driving through the, just through the general heavy rain shield. But there it's raining like crazy. There's also lightning from the storm. So I'm pointing at the direction I've noticed the most lightning. But unfortunately, with all these trees, all you're gonna see is probably the flashes. Because the core of the lightning is that way. So once we hit the 2:30 mark is where the rain should be start getting really heavy, but not become the heaviest. There, the trees are clearing up a little bit, so maybe I'll see some of the lightning. Now it's really going to start coming down. Yep. The fact that there's traffic because of the rain up ahead means it's going to get very heavy. Yeah, it's going to get even heavier now. See? That's where the rain is basically heavy. There's a core of the storm. You can see the feeders going in. The worst of it is just over there. So this video is going to be about 6 minutes long. Oh, you saw that. Okay, that was awesome. Okay, that's probably the core of the storm right to my side there. Now we're beginning to core punch it a little bit. Now we're starting to get into the more heavier part of the storm. Now it's really starting to come down. I mean, look at this. People even pulling over because of this little downpour. It's not even that bad, honestly. Maybe people should be pulling over in this kind of rain. Damn. I mean, this is nothing like I haven't seen. I've seen rain heavier than this. And it was actually during a severe thunderstorm in New York City that I've seen rain heavier than this. I'm surprised people are pulling over. I mean, we're from New York and we're not even pulling over for this. Look at that. Pulling over for a little bit of rain. And now it's coming. Okay, maybe we should start pulling over. I've seen it rain. Okay, now it's getting really bad. I mean, still not the worst I've seen. You know, everybody's pulling over, but everyone who's pulling over, most of the drivers, they're all from Florida. There's no wind with these storms. Surprise. That's because we're not in the core. We're not in a part of the storm that's updrafting and downdrafting. We're in a part of the storm that's just dumping all the rain, basically. Or maybe because the storm is coming in from the north, maybe the gust front is actually up ahead. I could actually see the rain shaft, or, I mean, we're in the middle of it right now, but I can see it up ahead, or the front end of the storm. I mean, we're in the thick of it right now. What it looks like, actually, that could be the core right now. It could be in it right now. Oh. Yeah, actually, we're under the shelf cloud right now. Yeah, the core, the worst of the worst, looks like it is to our west a little bit, as I expected. Now the drop's becoming fat, like really big, which usually happens when you're in the front end of a storm. See, you're having a red edge over there, the front edge. Yeah, that's why the rain gets even heavier. Yep. Temperature all the way down to 75 now. Okay, I'm even noticing some blue in the clouds. You might not notice, but I noticed a little bit of blue inside the cloud, which means there is some ice suspended aloft, but even if there's any hail coming down, it's probably melting. Because, you know, it's very warm outside, and there's quite a bit of distance between the tops from the base of the clouds to the ground, considering that it's in the 90s today outside of these storms. No wind at all. The winds are dead calm, though. Well, we core punched it. As storm, you know, as I would say. We went right through the core of the storm. I mean, we're basically driving through the worst part. We just drove through it. Yeah. Oh, no, we're in it right now, actually. Now temperature's going up to 70. There was a brief spike to 77. See the little shelf cloud over there. More lighting to my west. Non-severe storm. Now, we just drove through the storm like it was nothing, and our temperature's going back up at 77 again. And now look what's on the other side of this downpour, blue skies. And we literally just basically went through the worst part of the storm. I see a lot of downed trees here. Obviously from Matthew, actually. Sorry, Joaquin was the Bahamas storm. This is from Matthew. I'm seeing a lot of downed trees here. bent over. Yeah, this is definitely from Matthew, which hit actually last year. There's still quite a bit of damage left from last year's hurricane, which basically paralleled the Florida coast. This is actually basically the worst impacted area, but the worst impacted area was basically all along the Florida coast from about West Palm Beach and northward. See, still a lot of damage. See, not every tree is damaged, but you see a lot of trees are bent southward because of the very strong north winds you got here in the backside. You know, the coast was having northerly winds at 70, 80 miles per hour. So you're going to have a lot of trees bent from north to south, bent southward. There's a lot of scud clouds here. I mean, some of the more sturdier trees are still standing up straight. But some of the other smaller trees are bent over to the south or completely knocked over. I saw a couple of trees that were completely knocked over. So yeah, it's pretty, still pretty noticeable, the damage from from Matthew. Still talk about Joaquin. I mean, we got more effects from Matthew on the whole East Coast than from Joaquin, which didn't impact anybody. It was supposed to go into North Carolina. Supposed to basically do a Sandy for North Carolina, but thankfully didn't. I mean, gonna talk a little about hurricanes. I mean, I just saw a couple models, ensembles of the GFS are saying, "Oh my God, Invest 92L is gonna do a Sandy." It's not. It's gonna completely fall apart north of the Windward Islands, north of the Leeward Islands, and then basically just deliver some moisture to Florida. And that's it. It's not going to do anything like a Sandy, Joaquin, Matthew, or anything like that. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Invest 92L doesn't become named at all. And even if it does, even if it becomes Irma, which I hope it doesn't, if it becomes named, I want it to impact the East Coast a little. You know, I have a kind of an affinity for I-name storms, for the letter I storms, you know. Irene, you know, the I-name storms have a tendency of doing a lot of, historically, doing a lot of crazy stuff. I don't want it to be a destructive storm, but I want it to go up the East Coast, but just off of it. Like, kind of like what Earl did in 2010. That'd be kind of nice. Or maybe like, yeah, that'd be nice. If it goes just off the East Coast, gives a little wind and rain. But what I'm thinking is, that storm will not impact the East Coast. It will not. It will basically do... Ooh, let's look back. Ooh, nice storm. Very dark clouds behind us. Yeah, I can't believe we made it through that. Looks like that's the gust front for that storm. Surprised. It's all the way up here, where there's not any rain at all. Yeah, that's the gust front up ahead. We have... That's crazy. We're all the way behind the gust front. It hasn't even rained yet. I thought the storm still 77 outside. Looks like there's quite a bit of rain cold air coming from this storm. Look at that. Yeah, I think Invest 92L will dissipate either after becoming Irma or not forming at all. And it's a little breezy here. And Invest 91L is already a tropical depression. It'll become Harvey just, I think, tonight or tomorrow morning. And the second storm, if it becomes Invest 93L, will interact with Invest 92L and disintegrate. So I think Harvey will be the last storm for the next couple of weeks. Well, thank you for watching. Bye.